Call this meeting to order. City of Trinidad Planning and Zoning and Variance Commission, regular meeting agenda, January 9th, 2024. City Council Chambers, City of Colorado, City Hall, 5:30 p.m. Pledge allegiance, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's go. Roll call.
Moderano, Armijo,
Present.
Spain,
He's going to be on.
Yes, ma'am.
Coker, Rolo, here, Norris,
Here.
Leone.
Here. Public comments? None? Approval of minutes from December 12th, 2023, regular meeting minutes. Somebody had if they have any additions or corrections? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second
Second. Roll call.
Armijo,
it. Yes.
Spain,
Yes, ma'am.
Rolo, yes, Norris,
Yes.
Leone.
Yes. Old business? None? Public hearing? A on the agenda, Commonwealth Development Corporation for Mark Affordable Housing Apartments 2023 ZON-04. Commonwealth Development Corporation request for a major impact review for the purpose of rezoning property from medium density residential to high density residential zone, lying and being in the county of Los Animas, state of Colorado, to which townships 33 south, range 64 west of the 6th Meridian, section 12, part of section 1/4 northeast, and /4 equaling 129.334 square feet, or a 2,002.969 acres, aka City Heights, filing number 5, Block 8, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and in Block 9, lots 7, 8, 9, 10, City of Trinidad, Colorado, 81082. Okay, before we get into this, I just want to let everybody know in the council, this is a conditional. This is a conditional rezoning. For the simple reason, if CHAPA doesn't go through, if the city doesn't do what they're supposed to do, so what you're voting on tonight is a conditional rezone. It's not a rezone total. Okay? Staff.
So yeah, the applicant is Commonwealth Development. Ted Goldsman is here today on their behalf.
Can you talk a little louder?
Commonwealth is requesting a rezone. We'll call it conditional rezone from it's currently a medium density residential to a high density residential, for the purpose of putting an apartment complex at the site already disclosed. The location is between North Avenue and Camilla Street in Trinidad. It is right there by or part of the City View Heights area. Many of you probably know or have heard about. This is a major impact review because it is a conditional rezone. So if it is approved, it'll be adopted by ordinance by City Council. So for the process of the major impact, we held a joint concept review with the Commission and City Council. We had that on December 19th. Now we're holding the Planning Commission review, and we could, the Commission can decide to approve and recommend approval of the rezone with conditions if necessary, deny or remand back to the applicant. After a recommendation is made, it will go to City Council. They'll have a first reading, tentatively set for next week, and then a second reading after that, where they can make it pass an ordinance. The project is a 34-unit apartment complex. with a range from 30% to 6% AMI. The project is seeking a tax credit from CHAFA, and their application is due February 1st. The site itself is proposed 4 two-story buildings and 1 one-story clubhouse. And the reason it is a conditional rezone would be because the current owner only requests the rezone be recorded if it's awarded CHAFA funding and the project moves forward. With that being said, the city is reviewing this as a rezone only, and that we're going to require Commonwealth to apply for a limited impact review if they do get their funding for developmental plan, in which case we will review it that way. For rezone, there's a handful of criteria. This one checks that the area is changing. The adjacent lot next to this proposed site has an apartment complex and is zoned as high density residential. It also meets the 3 criteria. It is in harmony with the city's comprehensive plan. The intensity of development in the new zoning district is not expected to create significant adverse impacts. Like I said, there's actually 2 apartment complexes on the same block and one right adjacent. And finally, there's utilities in the area, and they have utilities on both sides of their property. It's consistent with the recommended finding. The application is consistent with the land use code. Rezone will not negatively impact the surrounding neighborhood and similar to other zoning districts in the area. The applicable review criteria for major impact review zone applications have been met. The staff recommendation was the applicant must submit an application for limited impact review for a site plan prior to any applying for any building permits. And this rezone only be recorded if the applicant is successful securing a LIHTC award from CHAFA.
Is that all, staff?
Yes.
Open the hearing. Anybody present here to come forward, speak on this particular? Nope.
It's just time to speak.
Nope.
You're
Come
up.
forward.
Okay.
I'm with Commonwealth Development. I'm the lead developer. My name is Ted Goldsman. The project was really well covered. It's 34 units, workforce housing. We're planning to go in for CHAPA funding on February 1st. We're really excited to hopefully get this funded and bring some, much needed new housing.
Things done, and now.
To the city. I think there hasn't been any new 2 and 3 bedroom apartments in the better part of 30 years in the affordable housing line, and so this would be a great opportunity to get that done. So I'm here for any questions you may have.
Go ahead, Mr. Norris.
Okay. My question, I guess, was about it's kind of more of, we're moving those people into a food desert, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And as are all those other apartments. And in one of our last meetings, we just closed a motel there, and those people have hence moved into, they're unhoused in other
Yep.
areas of the city. So you were talking about that inside space that they could use. Is there any way we could do something like on the order of a co-op or something like that, and instead of being like all the other housing developments that stick people way out there, kind of help them out a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think part of this plan that we were able to, fit, and develop a co-op or food, grocery store at this point. However, we've been working with a bus service to get dial ride service, so that'll allow people to be able to, punch in and call in and get, a ride if they don't have the means to have a car to help with the food desert, because that was recognized as, maybe not everyone has a car, and so how can we, ensure that people have transportation if they need it? And so that was kind of our solution that we've been working on and getting a commitment from them to just kind of lock in that there will be a dial ride service available to us.
Okay. Yeah, and then I guess the other one is, this is my own time up. There is, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the fairgrounds have the best a playground in that area. It's a ninja skills course, and so a walking path out the back of Camillus would be a much better route to get them there than going out the front. So my question is there going to be access for the residents to be able to get out and access Camillus Street?
Yeah, I think our site plan shows, there'll be a driveway, and I'm sure that, we can work to make sure that there's a path to get them out the back. I mean, there would be, I think we're, trying to help make sure the sidewalks are connected and everything. So yeah, there will be, and then prior discussion, our goal is to create, a playground on site that's a playground, and not just a jungle gym, type thing.
Thank you.
So, our goal is to create, a community that the residents are excited to be on, and not just, plop up one of those playgrounds on, hopefully make it something that the residents actually enjoy and the kids enjoy, and can actually play on.
To that end, shade is really helpful, Aaron.
Yep,
And-
yep.
Okay.
No, but yeah, our playgrounds generally have a canopy over the top. And again, based on, high sun like there is here, we'll ensure that that is taken care of.
Those are my concerns.
Chris Spain? Chris,
Yes, sir.
question?
How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
I have a couple of questions. The unit is to be 34 units, correct?
Yep,
Okay, that is, with 4 unit, ADA, right?
correct. I have an architect on the call
What
too. Ben, can you just confirm the number of ADA units? I want to make sure.
Yes, and we typically do 5% of the units is ADA, so we'll actually probably have, 2 to 3.
Okay, would it be possible to get them to commit to an extra dwelling for a senior and also a dwelling, for a disabled veteran?
We're not committing, because our philosophy is this is it's called a family deal, but we're not designating it to elderly, we're not designating it to any specific individual, allowing anyone, if they're senior, disabled veteran, we're not setting this, I guess, in a special set aside unit, so allowing for hopefully everyone to be able to rent from us and not, a specific designated group.
Well, I understand that, but I also think that in some situations, a little special designation, is very helpful, and I was just wondering if your company would be willing to help us out with our community and designate just one area for a senior and just one area for a disabled veteran. And, that, anyway, I just thought I would ask. Also, I was wondering, the present utilities that we have on location, our power, our water, all of that it's capable of supplying the needed services already without no city upgrade or no city changes that are unexpected burden on us.
I believe that's.
So, Mr. Woodworkin, so you guys will actually be getting a site plan review. As of today, the utilities are in the north and the south side of the site. We'll service that. But at site plan review, when they come back for limited impact, they will have done their engineering and we'll be doing our sizing for the water and sewer mains and electric. It does appear that we might have to add an extra transformer for the project. And because this is part of the Housing Now program, tap fees and those electric and gas costs are part of the city support of ensuring that they have adequate supply. but you will get another crack at it as it relates to those utilities at site plan review.
Okay. I appreciate you, Mr. Guerra. That's all I have. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Anyhow,
Everybody's answered my questions. I was really hoping for more handicap units.
Yeah.
We need them so badly. I know we can't make requests like that, but I was,
Yeah, I think, Ben, can you address, I think all of the first floor units are, compatible, right? Or am I misspeaking?
Yeah, so all the units are adaptable. Again, we typically do 5% of them as fully accessible. We can increase that number relatively easily. Again, if they're walk-up units, would have to be limited to the first floor. But if we needed to get to a 10% or something, that would be easily achievable.
Yeah, generally those first floor units, because of being on the first floor, can adapt
as
to more.
long as the doorways are wide enough and that sort of
Correct,
thing.
yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Our community does need that.
Mr. Hill?
I don't have any questions.
When we attended that meeting with the joint city council and planning and zoning that night, you said 1 unit for 34 apartment, and I see it says 4 units. What was the change?
There shouldn't have been. The same unit mix was at city council. There should be, I believe, 4 units at 30% of AMI, a 0.82, I think, at 50% of AMI, and I think there's 5 or 6 at 60% of AMI.
Okay, I just understood that it was 1 building. And then you increased it, that night you said it was 60% AMI, now I see it's 30-60, am I correct?
30s, 50s, and 60s. So there's 3 set-asides within the apartment.
30, 50, and 60.
And that should have been the same as at the last meeting.
I think last meeting just said 60,
And
but
60% and below probably
Yeah.
is,
I'm gonna ask maybe staff, is this annexed into the city already, or does it have to be annexed?
Yeah, it's in the city.
Is it already annexed in?
Yes.
I don't have any more questions, I guess. I just want to make sure that when you're voting on what you want to do here, it's that it's a conditional.
I haven't.
Because if CHAPA doesn't do what they're supposed to do, or city doesn't do what you're supposed to do, or you don't do what you're supposed to do, I don't know the landowner now, if she would want that, or I think it's Diane San Steven,
That's what it says.
that's what it says.
Yeah, but it's-
Well, I don't know if she would want to have it rezoned, or keep it the same as it was before.
The current owner has requested that the rezone be conditional that if it's not funded, that the medium density residential zone district would stay.
All right,
So the way that will work is that when you rezone, there's a filing that has to occur at the county with the plat, which they have prepared. That filing just would not occur
Okay.
if they don't get their CHAPA work.
When do you think you'll get the award? If it's February 1st is your deadline.
May, June is when we'll kind of find out, most likely. It's not like a stat and fast date, it just kind of comes out.
So do we still go through with the whole motion as if it's gonna be approved? Michael?
Yeah, so the rezone is a condition, zoning control is required by CHAPA
Oh,
for them to even apply.
got it.
So
Okay.
without this rezone, their application would be, I don't wanna say it like this said, but I guess it's the only way to say it, it's dead on arrival
Yeah,
with CHAPA if they have to go through, if they don't have zoning approval.
yeah. How CHAPA works is a big thing is readiness to proceed, so we want to show that our site, is zoned and ready to go, and it's not hinging on
Got it.
any city council meetings, because what they fear is, you have a site, they fund it, and then all of a sudden city council decides no,
Never mind.
and then you're kind of stuck with returning credits, which is not a good look.
Understood.
So they, we would like to have that in place, and so it shows that, the one, there's commitment from you all that, this project's a go, and have that city support that, can reassure them that if they give us the credits, this thing is live and real and not, hypothetical stuff.
so then it would have to be based on, too, the sale of property, right?
Yeah, but our purchase agreement would have us, it's a, when if we get funding, if something's happening, our purchase agreement will trigger, it's basically a certainty of our closing on.
A lot of stuff's gotta come together.
Yeah, this is par for the course, for all the deals, kind of how they work, just because in everywhere we work, if you don't get credits, a lot of landowners don't want to have their project tied up with the specific zoning, whatever, because we're obviously a unique project that, that everyone wants to have if it's turned back to them. So.
Any other questions?
Can we put this in place of the car dealership? That would, I just
We're
wanted
not
to
talking
make
about
the,
a car dealership.
I know it's not a.
Now,
That is
Gotta
the
stick to
point
what we got
of
here.
our, no, the point of our zoning, I know we can't do it, but infill and all that, it's gonna be much more expensive to support these guys out there, but we're gonna do it.
we gotta stick to our agenda.
I'm with you.
All right.
It isn't a growth area though.
Okay.
You have anything else you want to present to us?
No, I'm really excited to work with you all. It's great to come into cities that, want to work with you and, regardless of necessarily maybe it's not in the perfect spot, the dream spot, but, you're willing to roll up your sleeves and work with us. For us, that means a lot because it's not all the time that we come in front of cities and have that broader support. So it does mean a lot.
I got one more question. These are all 2 and 3 bedrooms.
Correct.
Why ain't there 1 bedrooms?
Because we've done a need at the last project that was funded, downtown was the art space project, and that was all studios and ones. So we felt the need to kind of fill in with some 2 and 3 bedroom units that had not been addressed previously, since I think last time a tax credit award was in this area for family units was like 1987. So that's kind of how we arrived at our unit mix. Just kind of looking at what has been built and what the gap kind of remains to be filled.
Any other questions? Okay, you can sit down.
Thank you.
Staff, any more reports you want to bring forward at this time?
No, I'm not.
At this time, is anyone in the audience for or against this particular application come forward? Anybody for or against this application come forward? I see none. Okay, I'll close the hearing. Before I close the hearing, I want to stipulate that it's
Mr.
a
Leon,
conditional.
she was,
There may be somebody online.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead online. Can't hear her.
I don't know.
Yeah, your audio's not coming through.
I call it left.
Okay.
Nothing. Okay. Just want to make sure that we're voting on a conditional rezone, so everybody on the council knows that, on the commission. Close the hearing. Commissioners. Motion. Now remember about, if you want to increase the handicap, you have to put that in your motion.
I don't know if we can, I don't think we can't require that, right?
Can we require that, Mike?
I think that's beyond the building code, because the building code requires a 5% requirement on ADA. What I would suggest is that you guys have made the case to the applicant and allow the applicant to proceed with that knowledge going forward. Ben and Ted, I would suggest, that we make the case to CHAFA if you do increase your ADA, that that's being done as a meeting the need of the community, and that will potentially help their application.
That might be an incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever brings the motion up, bring it up and
That's Danielle. She started it.
I never do motions, but I'll do it this
No,
time.
go ahead.
I make a motion to approve, subject to their CHAPA approval, right? And that the applicant must still submit an application for a limited impact review, for a site plan review prior to applying for building permit.
And that would be supposedly staff recommendations too, right? Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And the rezoning will only be recorded if the applicant gets their CHAPA approval.
You want to read that back?
I can try. Approve subject to CHAFA approval. They have to do limited impact review, site plan prior to the building permit, all of staff recommendations, and rezoning only recorded if CHAFA gets approved.
Is that correct with you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'll second that.
That's the motion. It's seconded by Mr. Spain. Roll call.
Armijo,
Yes.
Spain,
Yes, ma'am.
Rolo,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Leone.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
You get me in trouble, Mr. Norris. All the time. Okay, moving on, commissioners' reports. Chairman reports. I have nothing to report. I'd like to ask, I think I'm legal to ask this. What's going on with the tear down over there on North Avenue? I've had a few people ask me.
Frontier?
Yeah, I've had a few people ask me, and I review them down here to City Hall. I don't know if City Hall's got any people that's called, but there's quite a few people that.
Yeah, everyone's, because it's been sitting there for.
Oh, okay, so they are coming to City Hall.
They're
Okay.
coming. There's a different owner on that property now, and they are supposed to be pulling permits to tear it down this week. So that doesn't mean it'll come down this week, but they are coming. And the person who handles the permits wasn't here today, so I don't know if it happened today, but and my guess is, based on the email communication, that's probably they're going to have demolition permits coming this week, hopefully. And then there should be something going in its place.
Okay. That's all I have. Commissioner reports, anybody? Downtown? Yes.
I'd like to ask the city what's going on with the sidewalk in front of the Opera House. I was downtown the other day. It had snowed, and the sidewalk is closed underneath the awning. I can see why, but the problem is that all the snow had been piled on the outside part where the citizens are supposed to walk, and I saw two elderly ladies, and man, they were just having a heck of a time trying to decide, should they break the rules and walk underneath the awning and risk getting hurt, or should they go out in the road? So, I mean, we really got to come up with a solution to this particular deal. They got to have a sidewalk to walk on there.
I came down here and talked to the city manager and Audra because I helped a lady. She tried to walk between the curb and gutter and the sidewalk in the snow on the, not this snow, but the last snow. She fell down the street. She was 64 years old. We had to help her pick her up. There's nothing that says, go to the corner. There should be a sign that go to the corner where the crosswalk is. But they're trying to walk between the curb and gutter and the blocked off part, and it's not working. I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to mention that and see if we couldn't at least get to working towards some kind of solution so that we can have fluid movement. I appreciate y'all. Everybody stay warm and hope the snow doesn't impact us too much. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Chris. Anybody else up here? Mr. Norris.
Well, no, the boulevard, I think that's pretty much finished. If you haven't been down there, it's a completely different place than it was prior. They have, it's a city park now. They've cleared everything out. They've been, I don't know how many yards of material they've taken out, but it's a bunch. So,
That's good.
great place to walk now.
Good.
Plug for,
Hope it stays that way.
yeah.
Mr. Emil? Yeah?
Nothing.
Planning Director report.
I have nothing other than I will voice concern over the sidewalk there in front of the old Opera House. We have talked about it a little bit, but, I'll definitely bring it up that the commission has.
Well, see, what I was told is the city don't own it anymore.
That's true.
And it's been sold, so, but something still has to be done there because the city's gonna be liable.
That's correct, yeah. And it's a hard part because there's a little bit back and forth with the private owner, so it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, I'll definitely voice concern because it has been brought up recently, and I'll make sure that everyone knows that the commission has voiced some concern about it.
I have a question, and I tried to look back through our notes, but we had talked to, or I had talked to Audra and to our city manager about getting some training for us of what's appropriate, what's not. And I know that it was discussed that they had set something up, but I'm not sure if we were given a date. Michael, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we had targeted February with DOLA, the Department of Local Affairs. Nick, why don't you put that on your list to ask Steve if he got a reply from the state?
So,
I know tomorrow he's actually meeting with the state, so if you could maybe hit him up in the morning, Nick.
Okay.
it means that I'm the one that
check on that.
actually requested it.
But we had planned, we're still trying for February on that.
So, I feel terrible about this, but I'm the one that requested it, so I really want to be able to attend, and I'm gonna be out of town for like 2 weeks in February. If it has to go on without me, then it does, but I really wanted the training, so I don't know if I could call Nick.
Well, let's do this. Nick, why don't you talk to Steve and see if, when he talks to DOLA, if we can arrange it for March.
With 2 weeks, you're gonna be
Okay.
okay.
We're leaving like the 4th of February.
I'm off the first week,
Well,
so the last week of February would be
Steve does a
good.
really good, training, as well as having Steve and myself participate as well in that. But it's nice to have that third-party source, and it's an available resource. And I've brought them in to numerous communities to do it and sat there through them, so they're really well done. So I'm really hoping we get them, because it'd be a benefit to hear from. It's always nice to hear from a third-party source on these things, like the state.
Do you have any else?
Okay, I'll shoot Steve an email and CC you on that tonight.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to add, staff?
No.
Mike, you have anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right. Have a motion.
Oh, motion that we adjourn the meeting. I'll make that motion.
Motion made, adjourned. Second, by now. Thank you. Chris, thank you.
Y'all have a good night. Be safe, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This conference is no longer being recorded.